Okay, you're back. So let me take just a few minutes to show you how to complete the Get Cooking steps. You'll start by baking the meatballs. As soon as your oven is up to temperature, place the meatballs on the middle rack of the oven and set a timer for 15 minutes. And then while the meatballs are cooking, you can make the marinara sauce. You'll want to start by heating your saucepan on medium heat. Then add a tablespoon or two of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. When the oil gets hot, you can add the onions. You'll know when the oil is ready for cooking when it thins out and moves around easily when you swirl it around the pan. Once the oil is hot, add the onions and stir them around a bit and cook them for about 3 or 4 minutes, or until they become soft and turn clear. You're going to wait until the onions are just about done to add the garlic, because the garlic takes less time to cook than the onions do. So once the onions are just about done, add the garlic and cook it along with the onions for another minute or less. Next, you can add the tomatoes and the seasonings, starting with 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 to 3 teaspoons of basil. This is where you can get creative with other herbs such as thyme, oregano, rosemary, or parsley. Or you could try adding some Italian seasoning, which is a blend of several different herbs typically used in Italian cooking. And finally, add a teaspoon of sugar. If you want, you can also add a splash of balsamic vinegar, which gives the marinara a nice rich flavor, but that's just an option. Your sauce will still be yummy without it. Stir everything together, turning up the heat a bit if you need to, then just keep stirring a little longer until the sauce starts to simmer. Then adjust the heat to maintain a nice slow simmer and just let it cook like that for about 15 to 20 minutes until the tomatoes cook down and it starts to thicken up. If the sauce isn't as thick as you'd like it to be after cooking for 25 minutes or so, you can stir in some tomato paste a couple tablespoons at a time and cook another few minutes until it's thickened up the way you like it. Next, you can cook the pasta. As soon as the pasta water starts boiling, you can add the spaghetti. Stir the noodles gently until they start to soften and collapse into the water. Just keep stirring and gently push the noodles down into the water as they soften until they are completely submerged. Then cover the pot, remembering to leave a little vent so it doesn't boil over. When the water returns to a boil, turn the heat down just enough to maintain a slow boil. Then set your timer according to the directions on the package. And then while you're waiting for the pasta to cook and the meatballs to get done, you can start some soapy dishwater and wash a few of the dishes so there'll be less cleanup to do later. As soon as the meatballs are done, you can finish cooking the marinara sauce. Now it's your turn to get cooking. When the menu appears on your screen, you can click the buttons to review the steps I just showed you. Or just go ahead and get cooking using the directions in your book on pages 66 and 67. Well, that's it for me. I hope everyone enjoys the homemade spaghetti and meatballs, and I look forward to seeing you back here for recipe 6, where you'll learn a cooking method that once you've got it down, you'll be able to make things like moo goo gai pan, chow fun, mapo tofu, and my personal favorite, ants climbing a tree. But in the meantime, happy cooking!